What up is Marcus? Tomorrow we're going to do week 1. We're going to start playing some player props. We're going to start telling you players that I love in these DFSs or these over-unders and stuff. So I have the sleeper app now, and I love and enjoy myself some good old-fashioned betting. So we're going to be doing that probably every Wednesday just because I want to get in some of these before the Thursday night football. But we're going to talk about pickups here. Usually Tuesday is waiver wire day, and we have no waiver wire. So who are some players, especially in some deeper leagues? These are all players that a lot of these players are actually available in my 12-team league, or have been available after the draft, and some of them have been sniped up. The first pickups, the players that I'm dropping again, some players at the end of my roster: Evan Hall, Deion Jackson. They said they're going to ride the hot hand. You could even add Zach Moss into this mess as well. 4 games at minimum, you're going to have some sort of fantasy production from an Indianapolis Colts running back. I like Evan Hall the best, I think, out of the group. But Deion Jackson is probably going to have the first crack at it. Zach Moss is injured, broke his arm, so it is potentially a mess there. If I need somebody now, if you're an Alvin Kamara owner, if you are a owner of even a Breece Hall or something along those lines, it might be nice to have a Deion Jackson versus an Evan Hall, because Evan Hall might be a guy that comes in week 3, week 4, and at that point you're already going to be permanently starting Breece Hall or permanently starting Kamara after his suspension. But before the suspension, Deion Jackson would be the better bet here. Again, some roster fill-ins that I think could end up. What if Jonathan Taylor ends up being the half the season, or continues to get hurt? Like, there's so many different things, and Deion Jackson and Evan Hall are right there. Again, Zach Moss is kind of in that mess. Gus Edwards, one of my favorite handcuffs, always available. Don't understand why. I think people just neglect him or hate him or whatever he is. He has averaged just over 5 yards of carry literally every time he's touched the ball, and Gus Edwards is a very, very capable backup. There is a chance, and I love J.K. Dobbins. I think he's extremely talented, but with Gus Edwards' production and just the tumultuous attitude between Harbaugh and J.K. Dobbins, I could see Gus Edwards getting more work, and you going, man, J.K. just isn't going to hit this. Was it junior now? Is this his 4th year? I can't think of it. 2020 to 21, 22. Wait, 2020 draft class. I don't know. It's his 3rd or 4th year. He was in the 2020 draft class. He was with DeAndre Swift. So what does that put him? 4th year or something like that? Two players. These I don't get why have not been drafted, but is Jarek. I almost said Jonathan. Jerick McKinnon and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. There again is the roundabout Kansas City way of, like, Pacheco is the rushing back. He is still banged up and recovering from injury. But McKinnon was a great running back at fantasy at the last quarter of the season and into the playoffs. And CEH was the great running back fantasy-wise the first quarter of the year. And Pacheco kind of was that middle guy and had some rushing ability, has very limited upside. So McKinnon, CEH, Mahomes knows how to use just everybody on the field. And so I think one of these 2 running backs, again, if one of them gets hurt, if one of the 3 gets hurt, it makes the other 2 that much more valuable. Now, if you have, let's just say McKinnon gets hurt, you have CEH and Pacheco, and that makes that backfield very valuable versus the 3-headed monster that it kind of is. It's kind of what the Eagles are playing out with Gainwell, Swift, and Rashad Penny. Wide receivers, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, if I can even talk, MVS. Again, a deeper threat. Everyone talks about Rashid Rice. Everyone talks about Sky Moore. Everyone's talking about Kadarius Toney. But MVS is a guy that has been reliable and has been actually fantasy relevant here at times. Michael Gallup, recovering from injury. And man, it's just been a hard road for him. I think that this offense easily could have three players there with no Dalton Schultz. I think Brandon Cooks is a talented wide receiver. But again, Michael Gallup is there for a reason, was a highly drafted wide receiver. I think Michael Gallup is actually a talented player. He just can't stay on the field. And so why not throw a last roster spot for him? Marvin Mims, Jonathan Mingo, 2 wide receivers that right now could see a big upshare and target share. This is more of a longer play. But again, Marvin Mims, look at Judy's not there. No Tim Patrick to save the day. KJ Hamler, all that. Jonathan Mingo, you have Adam Thielen. Man, what am I talking? Adam Thielen. And again, tight ends, we're looking at 3 of them here. We're looking at Chig Okonkwo, which I know has been drafted in some. Sam Laporta was also drafted in some late. Very, very late. And then Tyler Conklin. Another Tyler Conklin, Tyler Higbee, like both the Tylers. Again, fantasy relevant tight ends that sometimes I've been seeing available, again, at the end of drafts. Okonkwo and Laporta. I think Laporta has been a popular name just as of late. We see the TJ Hawkinson light. I don't think Laporta's as talented as Hawkinson, not nearly as talented. Again, he's a second-round drafted tight end. Rookie tight ends don't do the greatest. So, you're looking at a late-round flyer. I like Okonkwo, the Conklin, right now better. And you can look at Higbee. Higbee was actually fantasy relevant, very fantasy relevant as well. And these players are all going behind like the Cole Kmets of the world, who I even like better. But you got to find the needle in the haystack somewhere. And then there's always Taysom Hill, who's a quarterback that plays tight end. All right, this is Marcus Nice with that. Peace out. We'll see you very soon. Talk about betting life. Woo!